Hi, I'm Magnus. These pieces are going to be my new video editing computer. I never built a computer myself before, so this is my first time, and I'm inviting you to come along. First we have to clear out some space. A couple of thumb screws in the back. Everything goes loose. Here we got some instructions and also some more screws. You can find some cables here that's connected to all the LEDs, the power button and USB connectors, SD reader and everything, and also to the fans. I think it's easier to start with disassemble both sides to get access to everything. Let's put it on its side. Then we're going to open up the motherboard. We have some cables here, some more cables, and then the actual motherboard in its anti-static bag. Which reminds me, I should use this anti-static or ESD bracelet that I'm going to have on my wrist and also connect to a metal part here. There we go. Now let's see if we can start assembling this. Here we have the placement for the processor. Here's the 4 slots for the RAM memories and all the connections that are going out on the back. The trick here is to get it in place, and this doesn't look too great. I have a cover here as well that we need to connect first. And that should go right in here. And now is the time for the motherboard. Try to match it up with both the holes on the back and also with the screw holes inside. And it's just to start attaching the screws. First get them there loosely to get a grip, to see that you can attach all the screws. I think it's going to be 6 of them. Now I'm just going over all the screws to see that they are enough tightened. There we go. First step accomplished. The next step now, I think we take the processor. This processor contains both the processor and the cooler. On this processor we have the pins. It's extremely important to not bend one of these. So handle this with care. And that should be placed onto the socket here. To do it correctly, we need to align this little marking here with the marking on the socket. First I take this lever, put it out and up, taking it carefully, place it gentle, let it sit there, take down the lever, the processor is installed. Next step is the cooler. This is a stock cooler, but if you buy an aftermarket cooler, then you need to add some cooling paste. But in this case, the cooling paste is already included. And in order to get the cooler installed, I need to remove these brackets. Apparently there are type A and type B configurations. Something came loose on the bottom. Yes, just the assembly plate. So, and now it's time for the cooler. The important thing is to see here is the power cable, where on the motherboard you want to attach it. And this mount here, system fan. I'm going to aim the screws for this side and then try to fold it down. First one, second one, and the other one. Then just make sure it's all tight. There we go. Then the cooler is in place. And then we're just attaching the fan. There we go. So, now the processor and the fan is in place. Next step, I think we take the RAM memory. And then we need to consult the manual for the motherboard to see which slots we're going to use. So let's have a look. Installing the memories. Page 9. Dual channel memory configuration, which is the red ones. And to install the memories we need to open these red ones, because that's the ones we're going to use. And we can see we have a slot here, so they can't be assembled in the wrong way. So let's say, just put them in place. There we go, first one installed. And then we have the next one. And you hear it clicks, everything is in place. So, and after the RAM, I think we go with the SSD. And the SSD is going to be mounted in this port. Just push it in and then fold it down and attach with the screw. And just tighten with the fingers because I'm afraid I'm going to break anything. And now it's time for the graphics card. So in order to do that, I need to remove some of these back plates. There we go. Then we can take this apart, and this needs to be mounted here somewhere. So I need to get rid of one of this. Bend it. Open up the port, removing the protection cover. Try to fit it here. Aiming the connections. There we go. We're going to assemble also the wireless connection. Just assemble it here. Try to line it up. Press it down. There we go. Then it's just attaching everything again. So, and to get the hard drive in, have the connectors here, and normally you use screws here, but in this case there's an indentation or some pointy thing sticking out at that end, and then I have some quick connector at this side. So by removing that and have it on an angle to find the center hole on that side, I can actually put it in place. Something like that. Then it could stay in place there, and then I use this quick connection that uses these small pins going in the other two holes on that side. There we go. Then we have the hard drive installed as well. So now it's time for the power supply. Installation manual and cable. So now we have the power supply, we have a fan here, and that should be directed towards the bottom here and should be in this orientation. Maybe we should loosen these cables first to get them out of the way. Slide it to the back. Then we just attach it with some screws in the same room as always. We have more than one screw. And that's to attach them loosely before you tighten it. There we go. Now the power supply is attached. So, all the pieces are in. Now it's time to connect everything together. Take it on this side. Figure out what we have here. So, and I did one thing wrong here. I took the power for the fan, CPU fan. Shouldn't be here. It should be up here when it says CPU fan. Obviously. So, what I'm going to do now is try to route all the cables in the back to all the parts, and I'm starting with the power, and for this I also need the power for the CPU. I think it's 12 volts up here, and this one is 2 times 6 volts, and this one I think it's the 12 volts. I'm going to check the manual and then route all the cables, and I will try to get all the cables in the correct place and do the cable management as I go, and hopefully that will work and I don't have to reroute any cables. But as they say, no one's remember coward. So let's start with this. All the connections is only possible to attach in just one way, so it's kind of simple to figure it out. It's like Lego basically. And make sure it snaps in place so it stays there. There we go. And then basically same for every other cable. So, now everything seems to have its power, and it's time to connect all the signal cables, as I call them. That's the LED in the front, the on switch, the reset button, and also the cable for Harddrive and the plus. So, and also some USB ports and everything that needs to be connected. So let's just try to get them in here. It's starting to get a bit tight here, but well, there's still some room. It's actually quite good because every connection here is marked, so it's easy to find the right location for each cable. This is the USB 3, it's stated USB here, so it shouldn't be any problem. There we go. And then we have another USB, and then we have this audio, and it says audio over there. It's very hard to do it the wrong way. So basically it's dummy proofed. That's good for me. Then SATA cable for the 4 TB file storage. We'll plug this into the motherboard and then take the cable out to the hard drive, but not plug it in yet. I want to start it and install everything onto the SSD first before I do anything else. And then this will come out here and will attach to the hard drive later on. So I will start everything with all the panels open. So now every piece is in place. We have power to all the pieces that needs power. We have all the signal or data cables except for the hard drive that I will attach later on. Before we do any more cable management here, I want to start everything up and test it so everything will work as it's supposed to. So let's hope for the best. There we go. Put power on, and then we start it. Hey! It seems to work. For a little while. CPU fan, this fan is spinning, these two fans are spinning. Seems that everything is running. That should run. I think this will be good. Now we just turn it off. Great! Some cable management then. There we go. And we have the delete button. BIOS has been reset. Please reconfigure BIOS setup items if needed. Great! Now it's running. Now just to do some settings. And then it was time to install Windows. But that's rather boring to watch, so let's skip ahead. So now everything is working as it should, so it's just one final touch to add the cover. Now it's time to set it in place. Now the system is basically in place. Next thing and the last is some speakers. And there's a blue light, so it will match the computer. That's almost as important as the sound. The sound is great, good enough for me. From now on, I'm using this computer to edit my new videos. If you want to know more about the pieces or parts that I have used for this computer build, then just look in the description below. Thanks for watching.